There's one thing missing here. Please smile. You look like you're going to a funeral. Smile. This is a once-in-a-lifetime gift that you get this morning. Nobody can take it away, and you can't even get bored with it. Imagine what a precious gift it is. So smile. Be joyful. You look so youthful and so hopeful. I'm tempted to just let you stand there for 15 minutes and take it all in, but please be seated. Dear young women and men to be confirmed, I'm so grateful to you for the preparation that you have made. And I know that when Monsignor Holmes says that you're prepared, that means you're really prepared. I have the highest confidence in his judgments. And that means you've worked hard and you've prayed hard to get ready for this sacrament. And I ask you now to keep praying hard as we continue through the Mass and the sacrament of confirmation. Don't give in to the temptation to glaze over after a while. Please keep alert. Keep very much alive. Act like you're really waiting for the Holy Spirit, just as the apostles did with Mary in the upper room. Act like you're waiting for the Holy Spirit, because he will come very, very shortly. And what will the Holy Spirit do? Monsignor Holmes just mentioned it. The Holy Spirit will rush onto your soul, take hold of the deepest part of your being, and change you by making you stronger. You'll be different when you fall asleep tonight from what you were when you woke up this morning. You will be stronger, filled with the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. 7 means in the Bible everything. It's unbelievable, but today the Holy Spirit gives you everything you will ever need to deal with the tough times in life. When there is death of a friend or other loss, when there is sadness, when there is failure, when there is disappointment, when there is fear. And all of those things happen in every human life. Today, you get everything you need not to give in to discouragement, but to survive and even conquer life's hard times. But you got to do one thing, and this seems to be very hard for Catholics. Most Catholics forget that they were confirmed. I don't know why that is, but they do. Some are not, some are, but the ones who are even, more than often, forget it. So that life's tough times come, and they're all worn down, beaten down by evil in the world, and they're tempted to lose hope. They get discouraged because they forgot that the Holy Spirit made them discouragement-proof the day they were confirmed. You get everything you need to survive and to conquer the tough times that come your way. So it's a terrible mistake to forget that you were confirmed. Because then, when tough times come, you get discouraged. Instead of turning to the Holy Spirit and demanding that he be true to his promise today to give you all those gifts. If you demand those gifts from the Holy Spirit, if you don't forget the Holy Spirit won't forget you. But we've got to be alert to live in the Holy Spirit, who changes you by making you stronger. Stronger for what? And then I will stop. Stronger to face the temptations which our culture and our society present to you. You know what those temptations are. To drink too much. You think it's wonderful. I shouldn't say you, but those your age think that it's wonderful to have a couple of cases of spotted cow around. Nothing helps the weekend to be better than a few cases of spotted cow. And then there's the temptation to escape into sexual pleasure. Escape from your difficulties and find some artificial paradise that quickly fades away. And our culture encourages you to do that with every newspaper, magazine, movie, advertisement, and TV show. Our culture encourages you to do that. And lastly, there's the temptation to funny cigarettes and all sorts of other things, which are just another escape tactic. The Holy Spirit gives you the strength to choose love, which is the opposite of escape. Don't forget about the Holy Spirit. And there's another thing. Let's think back to Jesus on the cross between the two criminals. The one says to him, "Lord, if you really are God, save yourself and us. Come down from the cross." He taunts Jesus. And the good thief, St. Dismas says to the other criminal, "Do you have no fear of God? Do you have no fear of God? This man has done nothing wrong. We deserve what we're getting." And then he looks to Jesus and says, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus says, "This very day, you will be with me in paradise." But the good thief begins by saying, "Have you no fear of God? You think you're God telling God what to do, whereas you're supposed to have fear of God." One of the 7 gifts that you receive today is the gift of the spirit of the fear of the Lord, which means you know that God is God and you're not. You know that he gets to judge you at the end, and that nothing can be hidden from him. You know that. That's fear of the Lord. But we live in a country where most people and the government have no fear of God. And you're given strength in this sacrament to stand up and say to your fellow Americans and to the government, have you no fear of God? Have you no fear of God when you don't appreciate the sacredness of every human life from conception until natural death? Have you no fear of God when you don't obey God's plan for marriage? Marriage is a sacrament, a sign of Christ's union with the church, a sign of the union of the bridegroom and the bride, a sign that requires male and female together for a lifetime with openness to children. Have you no fear of God to reject that? Have you no fear of God to confuse us about which restroom we're supposed to use? They've already started that in the public schools, right here in Madison. The country, the people, the government have no fear of God. You're given the strength to say, have you no fear of God? This is God's way. We will follow it. We won't follow your way. Just imagine the strength that you get from the Holy Spirit, the wisdom, the courage. And that's going to happen right now. And as you sit there, I can say something to you with your parents and your grandparents and your sponsors that I would never say any other time. Today is the day for you to overdose. Overdose, OD on the Holy Spirit. That overdose will never hurt you. That overdose will save you. Please do not let the Holy Spirit pass you by this morning. Praised be Jesus Christ. Now.